Are NWSL stars really making a difference at the Euros? From game-winning assists to dominant midfield performances, these are a look at my top 5 NWSL players at the tournament and how they're impacting their national team. Have a watch and judge for yourself. Number 5 is Jess Fishlock, the Seattle Reign midfielder from Cardiff, Wales. While Wales were eliminated at the group stage of the tournament, their journey to first-time qualification was huge news, and partly because they had to knock out the Republic of Ireland, and Jess Fishlock was a huge part of that. NWSL fans are familiar with her high-tempo play and silky turns, and in Seattle, it's obvious she's a key connection point in the midfield. When you break down Reign goal sequences, there's a very good chance Fishlock is involved. She's able to play quickly, unlocking plays for her team, whether that's with a single touch on the shoulder like we just saw, or a driving dribble that makes moving through the central areas of a pitch look like an actual cakewalk. She's been a consistent performer and a fan favorite, and for Wales, Fishlock just looks more comfortable playing her type of football. She's constantly guiding her teammates, she's not afraid to try creative plays, and her effort level was through the roof on both sides of the ball. She finishes the tournament with respectable stats, 1 goal and 1 assist, but she contributed so much more than that to the Welsh team. A fantastic first Euros for Jess Fishlock. Alright, this player may have snuck up in the ranking a little bit because I'm a Wave fan, but you know what? I don't care. It's my show. So next on the list is Miss Hannah Lungfist. The second-year San Diego Wave defender has locked up the team's starting right back spot under the coaching of fellow Swede Jonas Idevall. She's looked strong, challenging one-on-one against some of the league's best players, hitting a bellow with this big slide, matching up against Croy Bethune on the dribble, and somehow managing to push her both wide and delay her. Always impressive stuff, and I loved this perfectly timed block against Casey Kruger. A big part of what Lundqvist adds to the Wave is ability to build offensively, and that's because she's good in both transition moments, but also helping inject some energy when building out from the back. She's always good at driving her team forward up the pitch, while just keeping her defensive duties in the back of her mind. And that's really how she played at the Euros. Never flashy. She helps her team regain possession of the ball and then recognizes the space that she has available and drives into it. Simple stuff. Lundqvist brought depth and flexibility to a lethal Swedish side. She ends her tournament with 13 clearances and 9 tackles, but this is a player that I think stood out for her team without being in the spotlight. Third on my list is Delphine Cascarino. Yes, another Wave player. French forward has transformed the Wave's offense because of her willingness to drive at opposing players any place, anytime. She plans her moves out in advance, stringing together fakes and cuts that'll help her get into the most effective areas of a pitch. And from there, she's able to shoot with a lot of power and also a lot of accuracy. If you put it all together, you have a positively lethal forward. Her standout game at the Euros came against the Netherlands. France went down on an own goal, but it was Cascarino that orchestrated the comeback. She was of course direct and looked for opportunities to take players on 1v1. I love this sequence of stills because you can see how much with every single cut her body shape changes. It is so difficult to read as a defender. After winning all her one-on-ones and peppering the keeper with a shot, she then goes on to make this fantastic pass for an assist. Then she dribbles half the field, beating 3 defenders, and shoots from distance for her first goal. Then she cleans up a rebound for a second goal to ensure that France are going through to the next stage. This was such a singular performance from Cascarino. It was an insane match to watch, but unfortunately France had a tough matchup against England next, and they left the tournament. Cascarino herself finishes with 2 goals, 2 assists in a mere 209 minutes. Number 2 on my list, Estir. The Spanish forward has been absolutely lighting it up for Gotham this season and scored goal after goal after goal for the club. Estir has some of the best energy in the league. I so enjoy watching her, and she makes everything look good, whether it's just a simple tap in or it's an easy, well, that's still not easy, but a header. She makes everything look easy. That's the point, and it's because she's always in the right places, and she is just so lusciously skilled. That sombrero move is my personal favorite. It is so much fun when you pull it off. And here's the thing, she just looks even more herself for the Spanish team. It's the same thing here, juggling in the box when you got a defender on you, confident, and finishes with the outside of the foot. Stuff like that is just so stupid and silly, but she just gets herself into the best places. That ends up being an assist. This one ends up being an assist. It's just so easy to pause the film and you just see her in a better spot than everyone else. And finally, the NWSL player that I think has had the most impact of the tournament, it has to be Gotham's German goalkeeper, Ann-Katrin Berger. NWSL fans are used to her aggressive style. On any given week, you can find her throwing herself at the ball to come up with a massive stop. She's smart, she's strong, but most importantly, she has zero fear in her game. There's absolutely no way to check, but I wouldn't be surprised if she held the NWSL record for most foul contact on a keeper. It doesn't matter who you are not going to intimidate her out of fighting you for the ball. She is so tough that sometimes I think she's just playing football to prepare for a second career with the US Marines. Berger's had a strong tournament, but if you're going to go back and watch only one match, make it the quarterfinal matchup against France. Just 14 minutes in, Berger has a teammate sent off for the now infamous hair tug. So Germany are down both a goal and a player with what they think is 75 minutes left in the match. Germany just keep fighting, and Berger goes on to make 8 saves, including some big ones on somebody we just talked about, Delphine Cascarino. The German squad wasn't really able to do much other than desperately defend, so the entire second half and extra time of this match was just Berger getting lit up, and it was just making her more and more confident. And of course, right at the end of regular time, she makes this insane save on what would have been a devastating own goal. I love this camera angle because you can just see how much strength she has when she's reaching out for this. It's just one of the most momentous saves I have ever seen in my life. So against all odds, Berger carries her team into the penalty shootout. She takes the 5th kick, which she absolutely sinks, and then comes up with a huge stop on the 7th penalty taken by France. It was one of the best performances I've ever seen from a goalkeeper, and it's for that reason that I think Ann-Katrin Berger is the NWSL player to beat at the Euros. If the US want to be world champions in 2027, there is a whole group of elite teams that they're going to have to beat in order to get there. But I think having some of these stars in the NWSL is going to help the US. As they say, keep your friends close, but your enemies in Harrison, New Jersey. Thank you for checking out this video. I appreciate you choosing to spend your time with me, and I will see you in about a week for a look at the Euro final.